British Prime Minister Theresa May has struck a deal to revise the terms of Britain's divorce from the European Union. Parliament's due to vote on these terms later today, less than 3 weeks before Brexit's set to take place. The main change May secured in Strasbourg with European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker concerns the future of the border with Northern Ireland. Both sides agree that the so-called backstop, which foresees Northern Ireland continuing to follow EU rules in order to keep the border open, would only apply temporarily after Brexit. Now, Juncker warned that there would be no third chance to change the agreement, and Theresa May says the revised terms should convince British lawmakers to back her Brexit deal.
Having an insurance policy to guarantee that there will never be a hard border in Northern Ireland is absolutely right. It honours the UK's solemn commitments in the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. But if we ever have to use that insurance policy, it cannot become a permanent arrangement, and it is not the template for our future relationship. The deal that MPs voted on in January was not strong enough in making that clear, and legally binding changes were needed to set that right. Today, we have agreed them.
Well, will these binding assurances be enough? Let's bring in DW's Baguette Moss from London. Baguette, good morning to you. Theresa May there sounding very positive. What did she bring back from her last-minute meeting in Strasbourg?
She has to be very positive. She has to put a positive spin on this because really it's another last-ditch attempt to get any deal through the Houses of Parliament. MPs now have only a few hours' time to look at this agreement and to make the decision. Theresa May has said that she has brought something from the negotiations that's legally binding, that concerns the future of Northern Ireland. Here in London, MPs will still be waiting for some more scrutiny. They will still be pondering over the text, also waiting for the Attorney General to give his legal opinion of how watertight this really is. And then in another nail-biting day here in London, MPs are going to vote on this new agreement, another meaningful vote in just a few hours' time.
Okay, how watertight these terms are is very important. You just mentioned that. You know, what's it looking like? Will these new terms be enough to get Brexit the green light today in Parliament?
We have to remember that last time Theresa May tried to get this deal through, it was defeated by 230 votes, a record loss for the Prime Minister. Now she will hope that, well, at least the loss can be less than last time. And this is really what people are watching out for. We've heard from the Labour opposition, from Jeremy Corbyn, that he doesn't think that the deal should be voted through. So Labour looks shaky for Theresa May to support her. And then we have to watch closely the Northern Irish MPs, the Democratic Unionists. They are really crucial for her, crucial allies. If they think that the future for Northern Ireland is watertight, is a good guarantee for them, then I think a lot of Conservative MPs would follow them. So they are still sort of pondering and poring over the text and making up their mind. But this will be crucial. But it's going to be very, very difficult for Theresa May to get it through. That's clear.
Okay, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. So what happens if this deal is not passed in Parliament today?
Well, if this deal is not passed, Theresa May has promised that there will be another series of votes. So then MPs will have the chance to vote on no deal. A lot of members of Parliament and indeed a lot of businesses here in the UK as well are really fearing that the UK could crash out of the European Union without a deal, so without any agreement on the future relationships in just over 2 weeks' time. So when everybody says the clock is ticking, it is true. It is it's really ticking at the moment. And MPs will want to exclude this scenario, which for many of them is really a horror scenario, that in just 2 weeks the UK crashes out. So that will be another vote. If that gets voted through, and that's expected to happen, then Theresa May will have to face another vote on a possible extension of the withdrawal period. So it's then expected that Theresa May will be instructed effectively by Parliament to go back to the European Union and to ask for the whole process to drag on even longer.
Okay, and whether any of that happens depends on the vote today. coming up over the next few hours. Birgit Maas following that for us. Thanks so very much. Well, our EU correspondent, Max Hoffman, has been in Strasbourg, where the new terms were agreed. Here's what he has to say about the British Parliament's vote later today.
If they don't back this deal, but at the same time they want to avoid a no-deal Brexit, what does it mean? It might even mean a second referendum or new elections. And that, of course, is the worst-case scenario for hard Brexiteers. They might be willing to swallow this agreement if it means that they can still have their Brexit and avoid no Brexit, because you don't know what's going to be the result of a second referendum if it really takes place. So this is Jean-Claude Juncker, the president of the EU Commission, building up even more pressure before this crucial vote in the House of Commons on Tuesday. What really happens afterwards, we don't know. But this is really the climax, the important part. We've been steering towards this for 2 years, and all sides are trying to build up pressure as much as possible. And in the case of Jean-Claude Juncker, in order to force the House of Commons to pass this deal, whether it's successful or not, we'll see later in the day.